Hello everyone, my name is Mary Lane Kelso and I'm using PresentationTube today to talk to you about flipped instruction. Okay, let's get started. This presentation is done for the Instructional and Learning Technologies Department of the College of Education at Sultan Qaboos University. Okay, we are going to be looking at flipped instruction, look at some of the background, the pedagogical underpinnings, looking at Bloom's taxonomy, and of course content mastery, looking at exactly how do you prepare for flipping, and some considerations for higher education, particularly here in Oman. Okay, essentially what flipped instruction is taking the instruction, the delivery, and flipping it, and instead of having it in the class as a lecture form, we send it home for homework and devote the classroom time for application. This actually began with two chemistry teachers in the U.S. who needed to catch up their students that were missing classes. So they recorded their lectures, sent them home for their students, and the students really liked them. Other students joined in, other teachers, and the flipped classroom was born. Now how it works is that the teachers created the videos, they recorded them, sent them home, and then in class they spent time actually applying some of the information these students had listened to. This is very different from what we've been doing in education for the last 600 or 700 years, where the instructor delivers the lecture, delivers the information in the classroom, and sends the students home to practice it. However, many educators are realizing that the application could be perhaps done more and better when it's done with the instructor there. John Dewey talked a lot about learning by doing, as well as other educators, Montessori, Piaget, Vygotsky. And in the 1960s, Benjamin Bloom made famous his mastery learning, or his taxonomy. His content mastery approach was that instruction was delivered with a set of objectives, and students worked at their own pace, were formatively assessed, and at the end there was a summative assessment with remediation given to those students who needed it. Bloom's taxonomy looks very familiar. It has been updated, changing the nouns into verbs, but the theoretical framework behind the flipping was to apply Bloom's taxonomy with the direct instruction done by the students at home for homework. And then, through activity, learning was done in the classroom environment. So the instructor was there to assist the students. It was bringing technology, particularly education technology, and active learning together. But nowadays, kids are a lot more than just videos, and there's lots available that can be used. As well as students understand that mastery learning is perhaps limited, that they are more than just learning the content and taking a test. Bloom's digital taxonomy reflects that, in fact, our students are much more than just mastering the content and taking tests. And their social persona is often done online. So when we think about this for higher education, we're really thinking about shifting that lecture mode of teaching to a student-centered mode in the classroom. This also means our role as instructors shift from the content experts to the teaching experts. We need to think about delivering a variety of delivery vehicles for the content, because students do more with technology than just watch videos. We need to make sure that those students can access the delivery. And perhaps very important in higher education, there are lots of considerations we need to take in mind when we are covering the content of our curriculum. And perhaps instead of flipping whole courses, we may want to think of flipping lessons. In preparing for flipping, we want to make sure that we choose topics that are suitable for the students. Probably most suitable are those topics that have some familiarity, so the students, when they are at home, when they are in the classroom without you, they are at least familiar with some of the background of the topic that they'll be viewing. And we need to also make sure we inventory the students' skills, that they are prepared to, in fact, work more independently in the content delivery, that they have the note-taking skills. You have to make sure they also have the access to the technology. Teachers need to have time to prepare these deliveries or to find those deliveries that are suitable, as well as preparing the assessment for the classroom activities and the content deliveries that the students do at home. When preparing videos, make sure they're at least 8 to 10 minutes, but no less than 15. That seems to be the maximum that students, particularly on their own, can view without losing interest. But don't limit it to just videos. Look at a variety of different ways that content can be delivered, whether it's podcast or video or reading a book may be the best way to deliver certain content. But don't forget that you have to structure the time in class. It can't be just time off or time for the students to do their homework. It really needs to be an active, structured learning time. Get feedback from the students and listen to that feedback. Act on that feedback if appropriate. So think about this as far as flipping in Oman, considering what the flipping instruction would be like within the educational eco-environment of Oman. And I want you to consider this, and after consideration I want you to write down what you think might be some challenges or some barriers that we would run into when we apply this new strategy with Omani students. So write down what those barriers may be, and then I want you to think about, of course, some solutions, some possible solutions that we could have to meet those challenges. Here's some resources you can look at that I've used to put this together, as well as some suggested online resources for educators of places to go where videos are already prepared that you may be able to use in your next topic. And the images, as well as the application, the PresentationTube presentation software. And that's about it. Thank you, and I hope you enjoyed.